everybody. Welcome back to another Girlfriends Chit Chat. You know, y'all, tonight is getting time for that Valentine's Day night. It's coming up. Amazing conversations tonight about love. Yes, we are tonight. But whoever has, if you haven't been to the Girlfriends Chit Chat show platform, I want to welcome you and come up to tonight. Because we're going to talk about everything as usual, y'all. We talk life, business, and everything in between. And so I'm excited about tonight's conversation. So come on in. Let me introduce you to my girlfriend, Miss Leslie Thomas of What She Promotes. Come on in here, girl. What's going on? Girl, you know I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm on mute. I didn't even realize I was on mute.
Look.
How's it going? Girl, it's been that kind of week. What's happening, everybody?
Girl, it's been a long week. Man, I was so glad to see Friday get here. I was like, yes.
Yes, it's been that kind of week.
Yes, girl, it's going to be an amazing weekend. I don't know what everybody got planned.
Well, it's Valentine's Day weekend. So, look, the floral shops are full. Candies, rolling off the shelf. So it's going to be real interesting to see how some of these people that are in love stay in love during this break.
I know that looking for love, trying to find love in some of all the wrong places. Girl, everybody be trying to find them somebody, I always say that all the time. We always trying to find somebody that want to go out with us and hang out, because nowadays, sometimes we ain't got nobody. So we just say, hey, girl, you want to go out and go off for Valentine's? Girl, we going to have dinner together.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I think that is where the birth of Galentine's Day came in, where a lot of group of girlfriends are now saying, hey, look, we don't need a man to celebrate Valentine's Day. We are going to have Galentine's Day. There are quite a few celebrations that are popping off on Facebook where they're doing the pajama get together weekend. They're like, look, hey, we are going to love ourselves. We don't have a man. We don't have a partner. So we are going to be celebrating amongst girlfriends. So it's getting to be a big trend though.
I know, because nowadays a lot of times we always feel like we got to have a man.
Right.
We got to be in a relationship. But I think a lot of times we need to remember as women, you can still value yourself and still have a great time. It doesn't have to be, well, I have to be going out with somebody, because I think sometimes we just need some time to take time out for ourselves and just have a great time with our girlfriends.
Exactly.
Because some of our girlfriends aren't in relationships and they're like, you know what? Let's just hang out together. I don't feel like I have to have a man. Some women, of course, which I have some friends that feel like they got to have a man in their life to feel complete, to feel like I can celebrate different events and go to different functions.
Right.
But I feel like we don't have to be that way. It's not really necessary.
Right. Well, and if that's the case, that brings up the question. There was a question posed on Facebook today by a gentleman that says, hey, I feel like Valentine's Day is, now more a woman's holiday. It's the ladies' holiday. We feel like if we giving you love and appreciation all year long, why can't this day be devoted to just us? What do you think about that?
That's interesting. We can have our own day, girl. How about that? We travel together. Should we take vacations together? We have our girl trips. We do things like that. But I feel like a holiday doesn't have to reflect always a relationship.
Right.
Because that's the stigma with a lot of things, is they label it as, I have to go with my significant other, my man, But I don't think it has to be that way, because a lot of time when you out here looking for a man, you find the wrong stuff anyway. You catch up with guys, and I think it's the mindset too that it's a double-edged sword, where we as women find ourselves that we can't do the same thing men do.
That's true. That's true.
Because they look at us differently. I was talking to a young lady today in the post office, which was hilarious, because we were having this in-depth conversation.
Right.
And she was saying how a lot of times as men, when we try to, we have that mindset of a man where we were like, look, we can catch up and hook up, but I got to go,
Right.
And you're like, well, why you going to treat me like I would normally treat women? And I said, but it's that double-sided situation. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
I can't do as a man do, and a man said, well, you can't do as I do. And
Right.
I feel like a lot of times that's how the perception of us as women, as people see us as women, that we can't do the same things men do.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, men have always, from the beginning of time, can have a standard set about how they date, how they have sexual relationships, how
Yes,
they relate to others. That is totally okay and forgivable. And then women, of course, we can't have that. Women are feeling more liberated now than they've ever felt before, because now we are now coming into our own. So women are finding all these different ways of expressing themselves, and having a voice that they never had before. When it comes to Valentine's Day, I mean, I personally feel like we, yes, it's our day, but I feel like we should honor the men in our lives. I think, oftentimes we wonder why our men don't stick with us, or they go outside of our race, or whatever the case may be. And I'm pro love. I don't care who you love. Love is love.
yeah.
But are we taking the time as women to really celebrate our men?
I don't think a lot of time. I think sometimes we look at it as that certain holidays should be for me,
Right,
where I should be catered to. Like anniversaries, it's the same thing.
right,
You
right,
know, on anniversary, I want to give. What my
right,
gift? What my gift? I get pocketbook, shoes, outfit, taking out to dinner, go on a trip.
right,
Same thing with Valentine's. A lot of times it's not seen as a man holiday. It's seen as me catering to my woman.
right, right,
And so I don't think a lot of times us as women, we don't really, how could I say it? We don't have a holiday for my man. It's like, I'm gonna give you something, but I want the cards, candy, the gifts. But do
right.
women really gift on Valentine's? Do we really give stuff?
I mean, I do. I personally, I don't like flowers. Flowers is not my thing. I don't like it. So that's a standard. He already knows. Don't do it. I don't like it because I feel like they come. We spend a lot of money on them and they die. I appreciate the cost because after 3 days, they drop in. I don't do flowers. It's not my thing at all. But I do think we as women, yes, I mean, because I want that. I'm just like any other woman. I want to be celebrated. But I really would much rather you be loving on me all during the year. I don't think I
Yes.
necessarily, yes, I would much rather have it all during the year. And then someone said, "Hi, Miss Shirley." She said, "Yes, I totally agree. It is beautiful that we appreciate ourselves more and love ourselves than anyone else can."
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have learned now more self-love, as I've
Yes.
seasoned, and so I'm taking more time to do self-care now. But I think when it comes to Valentine's Day, I don't think we should really, it should just be about us. I think we really should take that moment to say, hey, we're gonna love on them a little bit too. Because if we don't love on them, they find, outlets, and we don't want outlets. We want to be able to show them that we appreciate them as well.
I mean, I get that too, because a lot of times men like to be shown appreciation. Sometimes it's just in words. It doesn't have to be in gifts.
Oh
It
yeah,
can be just saying, I
absolutely.
appreciate all that you do. But a lot of times we have us women who feel like, me, 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 me,
Right.
and I have friends like that that say, no, I deserve mine. I done gave you kids. I done worked hard all day and I
We
took
get
the kids to
push gifts.
school. But
Right.
I'm just saying I want to be done good. I want my feet
Right.
massaged. I want all the massages and everything. So you get back and start thinking about that thing, but then you can just show the same in return. Where his massages at? You gonna massage his feet? You
Exactly.
gonna massage
Exactly.
him? So you gotta show your man some love too. So I agree with you saying is that we gotta do both. But a lot of times us as women, we kind of shy down on our feminine side too,
Yeah.
because we don't act as if, we can be beautiful, we can be sexy. What happened to the sexy side of us? Some of us be looking just bummy and toe down looking, and then you think, oh, my man I got him. But now, baby, you gotta show enough keep him.
Keep them
You
bonnets
still got
somewhere.
to
The
look
men
good in
don't
them.
like the bonnets. We got to move away from that bonnet.
Girl, the
They don't
bedroom
like the
shoes,
bonnet.
honey, it's just like, you know what? I had a long day, but girl, you still got to be able to turn up and turn out. You still got to look good for them now.
Let me tell you, I have a habit. I work from home. I'm privileged to have a job where I can work from home, and I can tell you that I genuinely get up every morning and I actually don't put a full face on, but I do put powder. I put mascara on. I comb my hair. I put perfume on. My my gym clothes that I'm wearing, they match. They, all of that, because I always say that I make it a point that I get up and I put those clothes on for me, but I don't ever in my mind want there to be a look like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I make it a point that I keep it popping in my house. I make it a point to look good when I'm rolling around in the house, and that means my hair is combed. That means I got mascara on. I'm gonna put some gloss or some Carmex
There you
on,
go. You
but
still
it's
got to
on.
look good. Hey, you still gotta stop it because you gotta make the man think again. Like, yeah, girl, you looking good today. That's how
Well,
you gotta feel. I mean,
exactly.
and
Well, some women get real comfortable, and I think that's one of the biggest mistakes as it
yes,
pertains to relationship. We can't get comfortable with our man or
I got
our
like that, girl.
significant
After I
other.
started having kids, to one day my mother-in-law had to tell me, girl, I let you go as long as you could, but I just had to just tell you, you look bad. Can I just lean
Really?
in and tell you, sis, you look bad. It wasn't a
Oh
nice one.
Lord.
She said, I can't say it nice. It ain't a pleasant way to come out. But sometimes, look, I gotta tell my girlfriends, look, sis, you ain't going out me looking like that.
Oh
I mean, you
no.
gotta look good. It's like, look, if you single and you want to look appealing to someone else's, because I mean, everybody said, well, I'm not on into looks and all of
Right.
that, but you gotta have some type of appeal about yourself. I gotta be
Right.
attracted to you in some capacity.
Right.
But if you
Right.
looking a mess just because, oh, he'll like who I am on the inside, you gotta look like something on the
You know
outside.
what I'm saying? I think that's a total cop out. I think we as women, I saw something yesterday on social media. I don't remember which platform it was on, and it talked about women. She said that I get up every morning, and she said, and I look into the mirror and I tell myself how awesome I am and how beautiful I look. Someone else telling me that is a bonus, but
Yes,
I
it is.
already said it to myself. So I think self affirmation and love of just yourself is so incredibly important. And again, we don't have to choose Valentine's Day to be the day, the moment to say that I'm validating that. I think it enhances what's already there. But I
Right.
think it's all about a love language. Like I said, I don't like flowers. Anybody, they know I don't like flowers. That's not my thing. I do like gifts, but I don't like flowers. So I think it's knowing your partner's love language. I think, hey,
Hey, Miss
that's
D.
Mama D. Hey, Mama D. We have to know our love language for
Yes.
ourselves. What makes me happy during the day, and that could be anything. That may not be what anyone else deems acceptable, but I
Right.
think knowing your partner's love language. What do you like? What do you don't like? When you love yourself, you won't take any pair of
I'm
pants.
done
That's
with you,
right.
Miss
You
Pittman.
got
I'm
that
done. When you love yourself, you know what? And she not, but you know what? It's crazy because if you value yourself enough, you know what you're looking for. I had a girlfriend of mine, same thing. She had a list of qualifications that she
right,
wanted in a man.
right,
I told her that's a robot. Like,
right,
where that man at? What factory making him? I just want to know where that factory at. Why couldn't I sign up for that factory? Because my husband need an upgrade right about now, but we're not gonna go there tonight.
right.
But I'm just saying though, that man don't exist. And she was like, but this is what I want. And I'm looking like, baby, you keep on, but that man, you need to, and I'm not saying, ladies, that it's bad to say you're lowering your standards,
Right.
but we need to be realistic
Yeah, yeah.
in what we're wanting in a man. And I think when we reach a certain age, when you over the age of 45 and we still not married, and we talking about I wanted kids, because I ain't having no
Yes.
kid over the age of 40, that's out the question. But if you still trying to find love,
Not the upgrade.
look, I've been married 20 years. I need an upgrade. Okay. He need a
Well,
little, he need his
let me
rotors
tell you,
changed. He need
definitely.
oil
Let me tell
change.
you. So there has been a hot topic, and I'm certain that everyone knows what it is. Gospel singing star Kiara Sheard Kelly shared her theory on her good girlfriends
Mm-hmm.
coming. She doesn't allow them on a recent radio talk show that she did, I guess, in promotion of her show that's coming out on Lifetime this weekend called Lion Sisters. She made the comment that her girlfriends cannot stay at her home with her husband, that she sets boundaries and she does not allow anybody to cross it. And the infamous line that if you coming in town, I'm going to get you a hotel room. I want to know your thoughts on that. I mean, this
I'm gonna be
has been
real.
such a trending topic.
I'm gonna be honest. She's right. She's right.
Yes and no.
Let me. Okay. We gonna get to the no.
We gonna get to the no, but
Let
get
me
to
tell
the
you
yes.
the
I
yes.
agree.
Let me tell you the yes. Okay, the yes is she is correct.
Yes.
Her mother, when she got married, her mom advised her, and it is great advice because sometimes it's wisdom,
right?
And
right.
I think sometimes people speak from experience.
Mm-hmm.
So she was forewarning her daughter. You don't let single women. I mean, I love my girlfriends. I'm not saying that my husband can't control himself, but right. I'm not gonna stick a piece of cake in front of his face and say, I'm tempting you to eat the cake. I mean, it's temptation. You don't tempt your man. You don't play that game. It's a game. I call it a game, okay? Right. And I feel like it's wrong to set a man up because that's what you're doing. You're setting them up. And you can't say, well, then you don't trust him then. No, I trust my husband, but I'm not going to sit there and play something in front of him. Knowing that my friends, let's go here, want to be comfortable in their environment. Right. You know, what type of pajamas you wearing? You wearing a robe, you know, and this. I'm not going to tell my girlfriends what to wear when they're in my home, how to dress. Right. I just feel that it's not right. Now, if my girlfriend comes with her husband, right, that's when the roles change. Right. If it's a couple's thing, say where my girlfriend or her husband are coming to my home to stay, there's a difference. Right. If you single, no.
Give the enemy no place.
Says, give the enemy no place. That's right.
That's right. That's true.
So my thing is, if my girlfriends respect me enough, then they know how I feel about my husband, and we're newlyweds too.
Oh yeah,
then, girl, I get it. You ain't even got to put me in a hotel room. I'm booking one before I get to you.
Well, and there you're right. Now, and that is where, so the part where I was like, ugh, I guess, you know, a lot of people online, and this was more, you know, everybody kind of trending online, and everybody had the thoughts. Those that agreed for the very reasons that you agreed, the same reasons why Mama D agreed. The others that didn't agree, and I'm just throwing that out there. Of course, we're doing this show, so we definitely want to throw both trains of thought out there.
Yes.
That somehow there was an insecurity within her. Somehow that if she can't trust her husband and she can't trust her best friend, you know, then maybe that's a problem within her. Then someone made the comment that although they appreciated her mom sharing this wisdom, it's, of course, obviously sounds like PTSD, that, you know, maybe her mother had encountered this scenario, and so she's passing along to her daughter. Someone else said that we should not perpetuate. I think someone said something about insecurities with regard to she. So there's so many different things out there. You know, my theories are, you know, if I were newly married, I probably, you know, well, if I was single, I probably wouldn't want to go to my girlfriend's house and stay either. I'm from Louisiana, so, you know, we have a different stance on how that comes together. I would be probably terribly upset if my friend were coming in town for a business trip. And again, and this is me not being a newlywed, because if it's a newlywed, then you automatically know there's hands off. We need time to grow and build and love on each other.
There you go.
But I think if I were in a more seasoned marriage and my best friend came in town, I would say, hey, girl, we ain't seen each other. You're my line sister. You know, you come and you stay at the house, because we all have this relationship. So for me, I didn't necessarily see it as her being insecure. I believe she's setting boundaries, you know, and saying, you know, hey, look, no, you're single, you can't stay at my house, that kind of thing. But there was so many different, you know, scenarios and conversations as it pertains to that. And everybody's kind of, you know, it's 50-50, to be honest. I didn't find one set over the other.
I think a lot of times we look at it from the standpoint, I'm looking at it from somebody who's been married for 20 years. Mm-hmm. It's like this, okay, you come to my house, I got 3 kids.
Right.
You know, it's going to be rowdy, party in here. And I'm like this, it's what it is. We have to, and it's not insecurity.
Right.
She's just doing what you said. You're setting boundaries.
Right.
And you have to respect my boundaries. It's not, I'm not insecure.
Right.
I'm not scared of anything. I trust my husband 1000%. But
Right.
like I said earlier, I'm not going to place a piece of cake
Right.
in front of my husband, knowing my girlfriends may not be, the way they dress may be a little bit too inviting.
Right.
And instead of me trying to critique them or tell them, you can't wear this, you can't wear this in my house, you can't wear that. Instead of me being so authoritative like that, then I just not say, girl, now I'm a newlywed now. My husband fine. You gonna try to tell me he look okay, girl. He cute. You know how they gonna do. No, my husband fine. Stop tripping.
Yeah. So let me ask this though. So do you go to dinner, you and your husband and your friend? So I guess where I'm actually stating it, I'm purely playing devil's advocate. I totally get it. I would set the boundary as well and say, okay, no, I don't care how long. Because here's the thing: the fact that it's hit her girlfriends, it could very easily be a friend he had from childhood to say she coming in town, and I'm like, no, she can't stay here. She can
Well,
stay at a
let's go.
hotel.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? Nobody ever thought about that scenario.
But now let's go here. All right. What if we go this route? What if it's a guy friend of his that's coming to town? His frat brother.
Right.
His best friend comes into town.
Right.
Are you going to ask your husband to tell his friend,
right,
he need to stay at a hotel? Now he may look at you sideways. Like, why are you telling me?
Exactly. So I found it interesting. No one brought that point of thought out, because I'm like, what happens if it's his friend? He's like, that's my boy, that's my friend, that's my dude. He wants to come on by and stay. Then does he get a hotel room? So you see, it's the double standards, because
but then
I would, yeah. I mean, that would be crazy.
That will he respect, if that's your personal boundary, that's you.
Right.
But now, do you expect to have that conversation with, he need to stay at a hotel? Because then it sounds like you got some problems.
Yeah.
Instead of him suggesting it to you, hey, babe, I'm going to let my boy, he going to stay up at the, the hotel up the street or whatever.
Right.
If he doesn't say it, and he said, oh, my boy coming into town, he going to stay for the weekend, what do you say?
Hey, I totally agree. See? I mean, let me tell you, it was so hot and heavy with this topic this week. I mean, there was not one group or page where some woman wasn't, brought this to the attention of her followers, and people really chimed in, which lets you know that this is a sore spot, and people have had this encounter. That brings the conversation. Can your husband, can your mate, can your partner have a friend of the opposite sex that you're okay with? Where does that do? Are y'all all friends, or just, you know what I mean? Because that brings about that was one topic that was discussed
that was me. My husband's best friend was a female.
Right.
Met her in college, my freshman year. She was my RA.
Right.
She hooked my husband and I up.
Right.
But she was his best friend.
Right.
She was, and then became my close friend.
Right.
And she stayed at my home. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I wasn't insecure. Right. I was comfortable in my skin, and I felt confident in who I was as a woman and as a wife.
Right.
You know, so it was a thing of, she was like a part of the family.
Right.
But some women, I think, if the best friend is a female, she has to know what her role is.
Yes.
And if you know that your role has changed, then you have to respect their new marriage. You know, hey, I'm not going to come see you. Give y'all some time. Hey, I want to come through. First person you contact is not your best friend, which is the dude.
Right.
Contact his wife.
Yes. Always inclusive.
You have to make her number one. If I'm coming, the first person I call is her. Yeah. Hey, I want to see if you and my bestie cool with me coming down for the weekend when you come.
Right.
Because she's the woman of the house.
That's right. It's all about respect.
Right. And I think a lot of times we lose track as women. We forget that role Even being best friends, I feel like I want to respect my girlfriend and her new husband.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and so I respect her mama for putting that bug in her ear, because if you don't know,
Right.
who was gonna tell you?
Well, now you know, because now let's be real. We're women, but we know we got some different type of sisters out there who not loyal.
No, they're not loyal, honey.
Nope,
They
it's just
creepers.
not. We just got to keep it real. We can't make believe like what her mother told her didn't come from a place of wisdom,
That's
did not come
right.
from a place of love. And she obviously has, an attractive husband, young guy.
Yes.
And matter of fact, he your husband's frat brother. All of that.
But
So
that's the thing about it, girl. I think we get twisted. Is a lot of our girlfriends don't want to say our husbands are attractive.
yeah,
They don't want to say that because they don't want to come across as, girl, I want your man. No, they want to flirt and get a little flirtatious and say, girl, that's just how I am, girl. No, that ain't. No, that ain't. That's
no,
why I say you gotta know your friends, ladies. You
exactly,
gotta know your girlfriends. If you know, but see, sometimes now we don't know our friends as well as we do. That's why her mother said what she said. When you
exactly,
think you know your friend, you know her as being a previous single woman.
right,
Now that you're married, how your unmarried friends are
right,
gonna act now since you're married?
exactly. Well, and I think it really does. That's where your relationship with God has to be even more
That's
fine
right.
tuned. You really have to have a spirit of discernment as it pertains to all people, but even more. Because if I think when we are seeking our to have a mate, it's all about power couple. To me, represents a partner that is going to be a prayer partner with me, because to me the prayer is intimacy. You got a man, you got a mate that prays with you. That is intimacy at its best. But I think even more so, I was once told that the enemy can see. And if you and your partner are going to be the couple that God is proud of, and that he knows that there's going to be such an outpouring of impact that is going to come from the two of you, you have to stay on your knees, you and your partner, to war against anything that would come
Yep,
near you to destroy it. So
that's true
we have
though.
to be mindful about every relationship. If it don't feel right, that's your opportunity to back up. If it don't smell right, that's your opportunity to back
That's
up.
true.
But I believe you definitely have to protect what's yours and what God has blessed you with. I agree
But
with
then I got to now. I don't mean no harm. I love the Lord, but then I gotta show enough check you. I
that.
gotta check it the front. I'm sorry. It is what it. See, y'all, we you can't talk the Lord without being real about it. See, I
That's
gotta be
right.
honest and truthful. Sometimes we
Right.
got to get ugly, and sometimes you don't want to have to get that way. But you know what? Like I say, I love the Lord, and I know the Lord love me. But I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes I got to check my friends. You gotta check them. Don't be look. Listen, anybody trying to play tonight? You know you gonna what?
Yes, but you telling the truth. I mean, we really have
I don't
to.
want to get ugly with my girlfriend, and I don't want to have. And this is the thing about you don't want to have to. I don't want to have to cut you off.
Oh, but you
See that
can
I'm
get
gonna tell
cut
you.
off.
Sometimes it get to that point where I got to just cut you off. See,
Right.
I ain't got time to play. And if this is the life you want to lead, that's fine. But you're not gonna come at me like some women say, "Well, I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna be the same person you done known, and I'm the same female." Blah blah blah. No, 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 no.
No.
You have to respect that I'm not the same woman.
Right.
We can't do like we used to do. We
Right.
can't party and do the things we was doing before because we was both single.
Right.
Now that I'm married, I'm living a different life.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's a choice that I'm choosing to make. And that's also creating peace in my home.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, like I said, people can say what they want to. And I know she laughing about some of the comments people making and everything. And I know I know her and her
Exactly.
husband having some serious conversation, about some of these things that people are saying.
Right.
But a lot of times
Hey,
we
Reezy.
have friends that don't want us to be married. Let's go there.
No. Oh, no.
Because they
They're
still
not
want us
definitely
to.
not out for your happiness. That's for sure.
No. Some friends
Right.
just fall by the wayside. I said, well, girl, why you getting married? We having a great time. Maybe he not the one. No, you sabotaging because you got them
Yeah.
friends that want to sabotage your happiness. And see, look,
Mama
check
D.
it. I ain't fooling with her tonight. You gotta be real about it, y'all. Hey,
Hey,
girl,
Amicia.
you gotta be real about it and understand that you gotta be able to check your friends. It's like, look, we've been friends all these years. Why our friendship gotta end by I and me getting married? Why our
Right.
friendship gotta end because we can't party like we used to?
Well,
You
because
know,
something in you has to shift. You, if the Bible says that we're to leave and cleave from our mother and our father, surely I'm certain friends was in there some way,
it's somewhere in
somewhere.
there, girl.
I think again, I think it is you have to protect the sanctity of that. We can have a different relationship because I think I'm a big proponent. There's a you, me, and a us. That means when it's just me and my girls can kick it. We can do whatever we
That's
need to do, girl.
right.
We can hang, we can do whatever. But if you have that friend that's never encouraging you, not when you upset, even more so, hey sis, pray through it. Not the one that's trying to tell you how to separate, but telling you how to pray through it. That's the friend you want. That one that's on your sounding board that's telling you, yeah, girl, you should get rid of him. That brother ain't no good. You need to stop, press pause, because
I
that
know
might
that's
not be the
right.
one. You know what
I
I
know
mean?
that's right. You ain't
We
kidding when you said
literally have to be warring against that type of interaction. I have a a best guy friend. His wife is not one of those that's real more, I won't say friendly because she's extremely friendly, but she doesn't particularly care for that. But guess what? As his friend, I took my back seat and got in my place. He didn't ask me to do it. I gracefully did it. And I said, because here's the thing, as your friend, because I love you like my brother, I understand that I would never, ever, ever do anything to allow her to feel uncomfortable. I said,
right.
check in with me if you ever need me, bro, but I'm over here because that relationship means more to me than me and his relationship. Because if I love him, I want him happy. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
that's how it
want
should.
him
That's
happy.
what that's. But I thought that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we don't do that. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of times we feel like that if my best friend is now married, some women forget they don't know their place. Let's go there.
Yeah. True,
I don't
true.
know where I fit anymore. You know,
Right.
I don't know if you'll still have time for me as being your friend.
Right.
Because see, that's what happens when the friends come to visit, like with her. They come to visit, but the question is, will we really hang out really a lot?
Right.
You know, are you gonna really set aside time for us to do things and things like that? I think a lot of times we as friends forget our place.
Right.
And like you said, you put yourself in the back seat because you
Yeah.
chose to do that out of respect. But a lot of even as girlfriends, sometimes we forget, where do I fit in your family dynamic now? Because
Right.
sometimes we fall off and we be like, well, we not friends no more. You married, now you got kids, and I ain't got kids, and I'm still not married, and none of my relationships are being successful because I was so wrapped up in you as being my best friend. I lost out on probably a greatest relationship because I was somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's what the sad part about it is that we just forget where we fall. But I respect her totally for making that decision as being a
Yeah.
newlywed, y'all.
Right.
You gotta respect that. She's not a
Right.
seasoned woman that's been married for umpteen years. She's new. She's new to the game, and so she's making sure she protects her home.
I would have loved to have, and I'm certain it was mutually agreed, but I didn't see a lot of men chiming in on that subject. I would love to have known what men really thought about them saying, no, you're not going to do that kind of thing. What was his take? What was his conversation? Was it, hey babe, I'm cool with that, whatever?
That's
You know what
probably
I'm saying?
look.
I
That's
really
exact.
would love
No,
to
that's what
know
he
what
said.
men thought.
No, that's what he said right there. Because it's like, why comment? Because think about it. If he hadn't interjected anymore,
Yeah.
then it would have been suspect.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah. I
follow
mean,
me?
especially if it's anything not being in support. I believe he totally is in love with her. And for her to say what she said, it sparked good conversation, and
It
a lot of the
did.
women who didn't agree were women who weren't married.
I'm gonna give you an example. I for 1 year on my husband's birthday, I just upped and decided to send him some flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The women in his office went crazy. They were like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, your wife sent you flowers?" Girl, my
Yes.
man don't ever send me no flowers. Mother said, "Oh, I'm sorry." But
I
you know
believe
what?
that we should pamper our men.
See,
I don't know why people feel like that's not something we should do. Now, don't get me wrong. I think you have to understand your man's love
there
language
you go.
because
Love
he
language,
may not
lady.
want a certain something, but my husband, we can do a couples massage, or we can, do a getaway. My cousin is watching. I absolutely love her. She is the most awesome, lovable lady. She and her husband just came back from a beautiful trip to Mexico. And I mean, and on top of the fact that she's a phenomenal cook, she is the CEO and owner of Cake Me Out. Just want to give my baby a plug real
Oh,
quick. But she
yeah.
is phenomenal when it comes to all things beauty and romance. I'm certain her husband Mike is, he loves it, but they just did a phenomenal trip to Mexico. And so I believe that we women, if we don't make it a point to celebrate our men, real talk, I
Yep.
think we lose out. I think when you got a good one, you need to lay out the carpet for him just as much as he lays it out for you.
It's all about in love. I mean, and like you said, you got to know your partner's love language. If you don't know your partner's love language, then there's a problem already. And some people say, well, what do you mean? It's knowing how to love your significant other. They
Right,
know how to love you, and you know how to love them. And so
right.
at that time, we have to get to that point in our relationships to know our partner.
That's right. That's right. Well, because my husband, he would love tickets to a baseball game. I don't need to give him no flowers. I mean, he'd probably be like, "Okay, thank you, babe," but them tickets would be much, much better. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it really does. I'm glad that it sparked a good relationship. I mean, a good topic this week, and it just goes to show you how God will step in any kind of way, because I've seen people declaring war over their marriages and over their relationships, and it really sparked good conversation. But I love the fact that she didn't bother to go live to defend it, because it didn't need defending.
Yes.
She said what she said.
And that
She
was
and her
it.
husband were in agreement, and it was a done deal, because some stuff actually don't need to be defended. So with that being said, you have Kanye's Lord Jesus, and
Child.
and Kim. That is just the most hilarious relationship I've ever seen.
Look,
But he's on this big whole thing about him not wanting his child on TikTok. Here's my thing. I'm a firm believer that if you see something slithering in a corner and it looks like a snake and it slithers like a snake, don't be shocked if it bites you and it's a snake.
girl,
Now
I know
you
that.
knew this man had challenges, and that's what are we gonna call them?
Challenges.
Challenges before you married him. So now that he's wilding out with you, how is it that you thought somehow your relationship, because you was gonna be different? It's a snake.
Look,
It,
girl,
it,
but you
it
gotta,
slithered
but
like
look,
a snake.
Leslie, now you gotta remember something. Every time relationships end, they're not always sweet and lovely endings.
True.
Sometimes they're bitter. And so ways of getting back at individuals is we find little things to, like some celebrities on these reality shows do not allow their children to be on their shows. Like
Right.
the boyfriend or the ex-husband does not want their children visible. Same thing with TikTok. Sometimes they feel like, look, you went too far, you getting a little too free. Even though she's on there with me on my page, or you create a
Right.
page for her, you're gonna always have friction. When the relationship doesn't end well, you dating somebody new. And like I told you about that double-edged sword,
Right.
he can date somebody, but I can't.
Right.
It's okay for you, but it's not okay for me. That's why I
Right.
said when you look at these relationships nowadays, everything don't always go the way you want it to. You can't
Right.
please him and she can't please you. So
Right.
it's like we're gonna use the kids to go back and forth with each other.
Right. Well, I mean, in this case here, I think, let me say this. I don't care how much money he got. I wouldn't have did it, because it slithers like one. And
Yes,
so
it
I'm
does.
already let me tell you something, already in my mind, I'm thinking, what happens the day he wows out on me? See, I'm already thinking of the solution before the problem even existed. I'm like, so what did you think, sis? I know we got caught up, but I'm like, come on. It just seems to be, I look at the situation with her sister and Tristan Thompson. Tristan been doing his stuff for how long? And then on top of that, what happens now? He doing the same thing he was doing when you first got it. What did you think was gonna happen? If it slithers like a snake and it smell like a snake and even look like one, sis, it's a snake
All day long. But the thing
all
about
day
it is,
long.
but look now, but at the end of the day, most people have to look at it like this. You did not know what was going to happen once you signed on the dotted line. So once it was
Girl,
a done deal, you didn't know that. Kim probably was thinking that, oh, everything is good now. You can go on with your life. I can go on mine. No, no, it don't
No,
work
because
that
he
way.
acting like who he was before you met him, sis.
I know, but you know what? That look, there go look at Michelle. Look at Michelle. Yep, the bitterness
Yeah,
is
it's taking
taking
over,
over
Michelle. It is.
all day long, Michelle. Look, because he was cool. Okay, we're good with the divorce. All right, let's do this. Then after the divorce over and done, now you like what? You got the girl dressing like me? What? Looking like me? What? And now you
Yes,
gonna turn around
girl.
and use the kids? No. But then the thing about was the birthday party, that what got me. He went virtual about the birthday party,
Right.
talking about they wouldn't give him the address or the location of the party. But at the same time, Kim did come back and say, you were gonna pick the kids up, and celebrate the birthday with her.
Right.
You're gonna do it that way.
Right.
So my thing is, I didn't know you wanted to come to the party.
Right.
You never said you wanted to come. That's why I said you have to look at the dynamics of how the relationship was when you were married and look at what's happening now that you're divorced.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said, it's a double-edged sword. Some men feel like they can do it, but we can't do it. So
Oh
you
yeah.
want me to stay single, but you want to be in a relationship.
Well, I mean, I guess for me, their whole dynamic, which I think is just hilarious and sad at the same time,
Yes,
because
it is.
I don't get excited about anybody's relationship ending, because I gotta know that if you stuck in there all that time, there had to be love there. So, I don't think about it like that. But I guess it goes back to saying, and I say this in terms of relationship, and this has just been my theory. I feel like we get so caught up in lust sometimes that we get people and we get caught up in that, but we don't take time to get to know the person that we're connecting with. You
Come
need
on
to
now, say
date.
it again. That's the truth.
You,
Say
you
it.
know what I'm saying? I don't think we take time. I think, and even in the best of situations, I think we still probably have things that we don't know. But I think when you take the time, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience, you have to date through the season, because you can get caught up in that moment, right? But I'm always sitting there thinking in my mind, did he show signs before we married that I probably might want to rethink this thing? And so when he does a certain something, why you shocked? I'm like, why you shocked? So
No,
I mean,
girl, you know how we go do that. Come on now. You are shot now.
who
You
shocked?
look, no, but honestly, with Kanye, when his mama died, he went off the deep end. Now
He
everybody
did.
said that now. Now he wasn't like
Yes.
that before, but once his mother passed away, he changed. Well, we get to have something traumatic. Honestly, y'all, I gotta say this now. Something traumatic happened in our lives that caused us to change from the person that we were.
Right.
But at the same time, crazy is crazy sometimes, but we can get kind of like, family members and them try to rein you in a little bit,
Yeah.
but we sometimes lose self-control, like the show called Snap, you know, you was messing with that woman, so I drove up on your front lawn and I hit her with my car. I just, and you get out your car and say, the police officer say, but you just entered this woman. I just snapped. The
See,
chick just did me wrong
let me
and
just
rubbed me
say,
the wrong
I
way, so
ain't
I ran
serving
her
time
over
for
with my car.
nobody.
I mean, you didn't hear about the woman. I'm serious. The
I
woman said
did.
she
I
snapped.
did.
She hit her husband. She drove up to his job. She sat there on the side of the road. She waited for him to come out the building. He crossed the street and she ran him over with her car. What you laughing for, Leslie? It's true.
Hey, Kanye has more channels than
Let me
cable.
see. You need to talk about how the Kanye has more channels than Kanye.
I love Mama D, man. I'm
It's
serious.
the truth,
I agree, Mama
y'all.
D.
But we lose control, y'all.
Yeah, but
Because if
okay,
I
wait.
enter, I told my husband, y'all, I'm be real now. Yeah, don't say y'all. I'm just telling you. You know that movie? I can't remember the name of it, where the woman had locked up her husband in the basement and chained. She chained him down the basement.
Yes.
And said, if you leave, think, well, if if I can't have you, no one will.
Yeah.
She chained. She didn't kill him. She chained him up in the basement.
Girl, let me
Out of
tell you
house.
something. I don't want no love that deep. I'm serious. I'm like, look, bro, we good. You go head on. Peace out. Look, hey, I'ma see you. I don't even want. We don't even have to say each other's name. Matter of fact, I'm like, I just need to be in witness protection because that way I can change my name, my location. We don't need to know where each other at. But I ain't got time to run over nobody and lose my freedom.
Look, do you not know my husband said that same thing, girl?
Girl,
He
look,
said,
I'm
"Oh,
gonna
he
help
going to
you
jail
pack
for you."
before I take you out. I'm like, which what you want? U-Haul or Penske? Which one you want? Because I'm
Girl,
gonna drive
listen.
one of them.
But you got some, girl, we got some crazy ones out here.
I know,
We
but
got some crazy ones that'll lock you up, hold you hostage, kill you. You know, it's some crazies out here, but we got to learn, y'all.
let
It's
me,
so many individuals that are out here in the world, y'all. It's
yeah.
so many men, so many women, you know, but I think we get so hung up on this one that we just can't let go.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, I just hope and pray that people find love.
That's it,
And
y'all.
because
That's
I
the season
understand it,
for
and
it.
we don't want our hearts played with because a heart is a dangerous thing to
That's
play with.
right.
So I'm very sensitive to that. I don't think that's this situation. I think this is more possession, possessive type of thing. And it's
Right.
more I'm out of control, that kind of thing. But I'm saying I think more or less my thing is that she knew what she was getting into, sis.
There you
She
go.
knew.
Like you said, you knew,
You
you
knew.
started writing on the wall. You already saw,
Yes.
like you said, it shouldn't have been a surprise when stuff started going downhill.
Yeah.
And so that's how we gotta look at things. But girl, it's that time again.
It is.
Oh, all good things must come to a bitter end,
It is a bitter end, sister.
especially some of them relationships.
Yes. Yes.
But I hope everybody has a happy Valentine's. I know, I'll be
Yes.
celebrating this weekend. So everybody have a good Valentine's. Have a fabulous time. And look, what's that Valentine's you say when you go out with your girlfriends? Galentine's, y'all. If you ain't got a
Yes.
man, get one of your good girlfriends and y'all go out for dinner and have a great time together. But as
Yes.
always, we thank you all for being a part of the Girlfriends Chit Chat Show. As always, we'll be back again when? Next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You catch us here again with a guest and some major conversation with who? My girlfriend. So you all have a fabulous weekend and have a great night, you all. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.